let's talk about what the Giants' options are waiting for Rodgers, and that is to go and trade up to the first overall pick and maybe jump headfirst into the rookie quarterback world and just say we're gonna just start a new era right now and live with the ups and downs of a rookie quarterback. And first question on that front is the Giants would, in your estimation, the ownership suite of the Giants, would they be in on something like that, knowing that it's time, like their clock is ticking, clearly? What do you think?
On the idea of moving up, you saying?
Yeah, and living in the world of Cam Ward's our week one starter, and this is it, and Daboll and Shane are going to be attached to that hip, and we're gonna live and die with it. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's attack the first piece of that, which is it takes two to dance on this sort of thing, and so like the Titans have to be willing to move the pick, and I know one thing that, and having talked to all the guys in Tennessee, like one thing I know that they felt pretty strongly about is that they hold the cards here, and they want to go through the full process and get a full picture of what Cam Ward is, what Shedeur Sanders is, what Abdul Carter is, what Travis Hunter is, before they decide before they decide what to do with the pick. And that doesn't help the Giants much, right? Like, so if you're the Giants and the Titans say, well, we have to get through the pro days and then we're going to do private workouts with them in early April. And, then maybe, April 10th or April 15th, we can talk about doing a trade, or maybe at that point we'll decide that we're just holding on to the number one overall pick. That doesn't really help you much, right? Because hope isn't a plan, and the Giants can't sit there and say, okay, our plan is to wait for the Titans to go through their process, and then we're SOL if they get to the middle of April and decide they're just taking Cam Ward, which, I mean, the tea leaves right now make it look like Cam Ward is very much a consideration with the first overall pick. So, based on how the Titans attacked the veteran quarterback market, which to this point has really been not at all. I think the Giants at the very least have to have some level of insurance. Now, if they go get Aaron Rodgers, then I'd say there's not a real need for them to invest. Like, there's not a need to get a quarterback high. I still think they would, but you wouldn't need to really force it. If it's Joe Flacco, do you feel differently about that? If it's Russell Wilson, do you feel differently about that?
Absolutely, you do. Absolutely, you do.
So these are all moving targets. But I don't think if you're the Giants, you can sit there and say like let's just say the Giants like Cam Ward, but wouldn't take Shedeur Sanders third overall, and they can't even control whether or not Sanders gets to them. You have to do something now. You can't be left empty-handed if the Titans decide they're not moving the pick.
Is that why we haven't seen any first-round draft choice movement at this point in time in trades? Like, nobody's moved up, nobody's moved down, nobody's moved in, nobody's done anything right now.
Well, so when the Titans either say no or they or someone moves up, then we would know a quarterback's going first, right? Like, in other words, like the Titans could just sit there and decide to take Abdul Carter, but if they engage in conversations, we at least then have an idea of what the Titans are doing at first with the first overall pick. My guess would be they're not going to trade down thinking they're getting Cam Ward at 2 or 3, and that's why the likelihood is Cam Ward goes 1. Until we have a better feel for what the Titans are doing, I think it sort of keeps teams in the top 5 from really having substantive talks on what they're going to do with their picks, because you have less of an idea of what's going to happen up there. So, in the same way that Aaron Rodgers is sort of stopping up the veteran quarterback market right now for a few guys, I think the Titans kind of going through their process, and they're doing the right thing, by the way, by doing this. Like, you should go through the full process. I think it's smart of them to do it. That sort of stops up the idea of anybody else trading out of the top 5.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.